Looks like everything's fixed now in terms of controls of how it stays this way. Oh, so we're gonna go with the best character, and that is Solar. So why is Solar the best character? He starts with 3 different spells, including Lightning, which is very, very good. His stats are very good overall. He can max 2 of his stats. Unlike most other characters. Here we go. Just the left button. He starts out with pretty good stats overall, like I mentioned. He's also got his own bird companion here. Also, Solar is one of the characters who can take pretty much advantage of the spell system in the game and use it. Okay, spawn. He is the dedicated spellcasting archetype in the game. Certain other characters like Julia are also spellcasters, but she is far, far inferior to him in terms of his stats. Speaking of her, she is by far the absolute worst character in the game, too. Now, the thing with Julia is that she does start out with better ammo than Solar because Ion is dog shit. Like, Ion is super bad, and it doesn't help that it's the primary ammo type that Solar starts with, so that's really bad because you're just going through ammo with it. And it does not do a lot of damage either. What makes Solar better than Julia is his starting stats are all straight up better. His armor actually caps out higher than hers, and he can also fully max his spirit unlike her, which means that he is the only character normally to be able to do such a thing, and he can learn every single spell in the game without any issues. The most important stats in this game are pretty much armor. I think armor is probably the most important stat. Like, Spirit's good, but it doesn't impact the performance of your spells. The only thing that impacts the performance of your spells is the level. Fun one, making sure it's a little better. If you break objects in the game, then you get EXP, which is why I'm breaking all these rocks. Where's the bat? There's no bat. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Very weird. There's no bat, there's no bat. Anyways, starting stats with Solar, like I said, I think the most important one in the game is armor, because enemies eventually do start hitting like trucks. and it also means that you can tank stuff a lot better in general. Armor does impact your physical damage more than your weapon master perk. But weapon master does impact your physical damage performance. Also, if you are a male character, you have superior dodges to the two ladies in the game. In particular, the back dodge, because in this game you do not get iframes on your dodges. And so the whole point of it is to reposition yourself and lower your profile so attacks that won't normally be able to hit you. So that's another reason why Julia is so bad, is her back dodge it's rather slow and keeps her profile, like keeps her full height. So it's kind of useless in all honesty. This game sometimes, so I'll do my best to hopefully not get cheated by platforming. Okay, that's a cheater right there. I did create like a doc guide for this that you can find on the Retroachievements website in the forum. If you want like in-depth information about this game, things like how stat caps and sheets and stuff like that. It should be this combinations. So we're gonna come back here in just a little bit, just kind of showcase this off. So I just want to learn what my buttons mapped here. Crawl. So. And it's climb. So. Difficulty does affect stuff that you get in terms of drops. So like on normal, I will find ammo that I cannot normally find in hard difficulty. So hard difficulty does force you to pick your fights a bit better. Also, since we're playing as Solar, we don't get the achievement here because he's not here to give us the antidote. Can you get this game done with any character? Yes, you can. So every character works, you can beat the game with them. There's kind of not point worrying about like any meta or whatever, but it does help to have like a better character. Especially that has really good armor and or can use the spell system. If your character can learn level 3 healing, which is actually every character, and at least level 2 mana, then you can exploit the spell system. And just kind of cheats a lot of difficulty in this. Oh, I think these slots are kind of useless now, so let's just override them. We're trying to do this with retro achievements. Keep in mind that the hidden characters Sophia and Karma, because you have to unlock them with a cheat code, you cannot use cheats for retro achievements. So, like even the inbuilt cheats that you patch that you need to use. is completely the cheats just straight up do not work, which I think is kind of fair, but at the same time, don't like restricting characters just for the sake of retro achievements. Because, like, people keep touting, oh, you know, Karma and Sophia are super broken, blah, 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 blah. Like, at the start, yeah, they're quite good. But as you progress through the game, they fall more in line with the cast. Sophia is the second best spellcaster in the game. Uh, she is slightly worse than Solar, but her spirit stat is the second highest in the game, barely caps out lower than his, in return for a slightly higher armor stat than what he has. So it's kind of balanced in a sense. It's just that the characters start with far, far higher stats. Some things to keep in mind as you play this game is that there is a form of ammo progression. So, when I was saying Solar starts with Ion as his primary, and that's a bad thing, that's because most of the drops that Solar will end up getting will be for Ion. So, due to that, it's like not very good. Also, it does kind of balance itself out that Solar's secondary ammo type that he gets is, thankfully, fire, which is the second best element that you can have, and the highest is fusion. Fusion is without a doubt the absolute best ammo type in the game due to its extreme damage. Unfortunately, all of the main cast, so Solar, Julia, Ike, and Max, don't get fusion until the start of level 4. And what's a bit sad due to that is that Solar is one of the few characters who can actually max out his fusion. And so, due to that, can't really take advantage of it fully, unfortunately, until you get to the same point as the other characters. And then you only have it for, level 4, 5, 6, 7, I guess 7. Go to 7, which is the tone. But yeah, the only character that can really fully take advantage of fusion is Karma, because his starting ammo type is fire. And then as soon as the first boss, you get access to fusion, which is insane. It's absolutely insane how good it is. How early he has access to it. So something I forgot to mention is if you come across an explosive barrel, you can generally tell which ones explode because the metal part around the crate itself, the more the more oval-shaped crates, the metal part is bigger. And so you can kind of use that to tell, like, oh, hey, this one will explode. Let me get back and shoot it. Rather than, mailing the damn thing. Solar's bird actually helps detonate crates and stuff for him. And helps him fight a little bit. So that's really nice. Also, one thing to keep in mind about enemies in this game is you can't stun them for shit. So, it's very, very important to keep in mind that you will, in firefights, you will constantly take damage due to that, and you should constantly be on. So dodging, ducking and dodging, ducking and dodging. Now, as for um, characters in terms of like usability, like I said, I think Solar is the best character. Like I said, you can fully get to use the spell system more than any other character in the game can. So it's very, very good, and doing so can trivialize a lot of the game. I also think armor is the single most important stat, because like I said, it not only buffs your physical damage output, which is really nice, but your damage intake also drastically improves. And that's very important to have in this game because you have practically no iframes for the most part. And like I said, enemies do not flinch, and this game is quite brutal with this platform. I've beaten this game how many times in the last 14 minutes, but there are definitely some brutal segments. Not all of it is well designed either. It is definitely it's definitely like a PS1 era thing. Achievement here. So these are the crates I was mentioning. You see the wider area around them? That means that these are going to detonate. Right? And so, armor is super duper important for innumerable reasons. Weapon mastery is also really good because that is what dictates um, your ability to level up your weapon power, which is also super important for your damage output. I think armor takes a precedent just due to how important it is and how important it is to mitigate the damage that you receive very early on. So another reason why Ion sucks ass is because you cannot aim it properly. So this game already has an issue where you just can't aim properly because there's no crosshair or anything. So you kind of have to get used to this kind of less archaic aim. You kind of have to get close to barrels to do that. This one will detonate because the width is not the center the center part is not that big, so you can kind of tell. But yeah, armor is without a doubt the single most important stat. Spirit, I would say, is probably the least impactful overall. Like, while it's important to fully level up, like upgrade your spells, of course. The overall impact on it, I would say, is a little bit less than even Weapon Mastery because your spirit stat does not affect the potency of your spells. It's just for leveling and upgrading your spells. And if you even have like the shield spell, and a decent level enough to max out your healing, or max out your healing and just get level 3 mana, you're good to go. Because by that point you'll learn the ghost spell, and then what's more important at that point is your weapon mastery, because a lot of your damage at that point, well, most of your damage at that point will start coming from your ammo. And like I said, every character has a form of ammo progression in the game. There's also spell progression in the game because you learn spells from crystals, and those are always in static locations in the game. So every character has the same ammo locations, but the ammo itself will be different. And then every character's um, spell progression will be the same because they're always in the same spots. So if Solar learns the blast spell when he picks up the Earth Crystal in level 2, then Max will, even though he has the worst spirit in the game, he'll learn it at the same point. And to be honest, it certain spells are more impacted by level up than others. Like for example, you don't really need level 2 of the shield spell to make it busted as hell. Like just level 1 is more than enough. Same for the ghost spell. Like I actually recommend it that you um, I actually recommend that you only learn level 1 of the ghost spell because each spell increases its duration by 10 seconds, which is not half bad, but you cannot interact with objects in the environment while you are under the effects of the ghost spell. So, and the mana cost on it is also really, really freakishly low, so uh, very good. And I have a full list of all this in that document over on the RA forums. If you're interested in taking a look. Another reason why Ion just straight up sucks is because you burn through ammo, especially at the start. It is a massive ammo sink. It is not worth using. I'm gonna restart that. I got a little bit too greedy there. I'm not wasting my life this early. But yeah, and I'm already right here, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, uh, sometimes you just want a lower level spell just simply because it's a little bit more convenient. Come on, load. Thank you. Because, like, the mana cost on Shield and Ghost, like, two of the best spells, are already quite low as is. And you don't really need to extend the duration. Let's get stuck in. The Ion, I forgot to mention this, the Ion spell also, like, so there are like, immunities and stuff in this game, and certain resistances with enemies, so like kind of like an RPG, really. And you would think that the Ion spell does more damage to machine enemies, and based on my experience, it does. But fire is just as convenient in shredding their HP, if not more so, because the closer you are with fire, the more damage it is. And machine enemies do not seem to have some kind of resistance to it. Take it a bit slower. Oh, game. What the hell? I pressed the button to jump. It's time to invest in a new controller. Uh, Jesus Christ, what start? Anyways, normally it's not this bad when I play. Um, but the um, the spirit stat is it's good enough for what it is, but again, there's literally no fucking point to it past like what's required to level up your spells. It's far more important to level up your armor to mitigate damage taken and increase your physical damage output. Because eventually, after a certain point, your physical attacks do become very useful. Especially like if you're doing a speedrun. Nice job, Bert. Because and circle back on how bad Julia is, she is not viable for speedruns. Because she cannot break crates in one go. That dash attack. Really not. There we go. Thank you, game. Finally. All of this just fucking run my head. Anyways, the dash attack modifier on our melees, which is this right here, is 2 times at the very least, or this, of course, I'm running in. It's a modifier of 2. I hate Ion with the passion. It's so fucking bad. Anyways, what was I saying? I forget. Oh, fuck it. Anyways, the important thing to we want to clean out so safely. Can we do that, please? Can I just... I guess not. That's probably because never mind, I think I see why. But anyways, it's very, very important to have a good primary ammo because, like I said, most of your drops will come from it, and your secondary ammo. So, with Solar's being Ion, he's burdened with the worst ammo type for a little while. You don't really see any kind of use for it until like level 4, give or take. Because that's a lot of electric ammo for machine animals. And Ion just burns through your ammo reserves incredibly quickly and doesn't do a whole lot of damage, especially at the start. So just dumping all your damage, like all your stats into Ion at the start is probably not the best move, because what's the term I'm looking for? There's a basically your bang for your buck is not as useful as it should be. I can't remember the term phrase. It's 4 in the morning as I'm recording, because I'm doing this. But basically the reward for the investment is not worth it. And so I might be hoarding some Ion upgrades here for a little while, as I buff Solar's armor. Also, each character does have a cap on their stats, which you can kind of see right here. The red line indicates the hard cap for that character. Solar does have the second worst defense in the game, just barely higher than Julia's. It's like a shirt. Hated. But, and then kind of see right here, you can see the weapon mastery, which is the middle stat, and then the spirit stat to the far right there. That you can see like there's no red lines, so Solar can cap both of those stats. Every character can max their weapon mastery, but there's not very many characters that can actually cap 2. There's only 2. Solar on his in the spirit, and then Max with his armor. Although some other characters come really close to these stats, like Sophia with her spirit being second highest, and Karma with his physical bulk being second highest. So, I forgot to mention this, but that dash attack there, that flying karate kick, is a 2x modifier. Alright. You can kind of see how he's highlighted. He's within... No, he's just out of range. Doink. He did. Oh, I remember now what I was talking about. Ion. The different ammo types kind of, vary in effectiveness, obviously, but Ion is really just dog shit because I can't even break a barrel properly here, and it's impossible to aim normally. And the aim system's already kind of crap as is. And fun fact, another reason why Julia is so bad is because her hair is in the way of the game. Not joking. No. But yeah. Ion is just really dog shit, and the second, well, I would say the gap between it and Light, which is the blue ammo, is pretty, I'm gonna be frank, it's fairly massive, because Light is actually pretty good for the majority of the game, and against most enemies, except for like the mermen on level 6, because they're mermen, and blue for whatever reason, are very, very resistant to light ammo for some weird-ass reason. Okay, so what was the button to allocate experience? Level armor. So we're just gonna kind of crouch up over here. Blind spot. So Ion is effective against machine enemies, but there's not too many of them up until about halfway through level 2 and majority of level 4. Fire is also more effective against organic enemies, especially the tree enemies in level 3. Circling back to Light, Light is okay, it gets the job done, it's the speedrun ammo that you will see used, so that means it's really fucking good for what it does. So yeah. some reason this box has the same amount of health. Light does eventually gain like a couple of tracking shots on it. And because of that, it's an alright ammo type against the majority of enemies, because not many enemies like resist it. As for fire, fire is the single most consistently destructive ammo type in the game that is not fusion, because virtually nothing resists it. There are enemies that resist it, I cannot think of it off the top of my head. If you hear a howling cat in the background, don't worry, because I'm about to put him in timeout. Anyways, the fire also just completely and utterly melts the HP of machine enemies, so ion has virtually no use. And the closer you are with fire, the more powerful it is. And it eventually does gain a tremendous amount of range, too. That kind of puts ion to shame, in all honesty. And then lastly, there's fusion, which is the single best ammo type in the game due to its damage. Now, the weird thing about fusion is that fusion follows the ground and trails it, so all the hitboxes will always be over ground, and if there's like a gap, then it will fall off, but generally it's not that big of a deal. But yeah, fusion absolutely decimates every single enemy type, including the most powerful in-game enemies. That will just screw you over. Very easily. Well, you have to be aware in very specific circumstances, or if you're like on a conveyor belt or the boat for the boss of Chapter 6, which is Dragon, yeah, you can one-shot yourself with Ion for whatever reason. Your character just dissipates into nothingness. But outside of those incredibly fringe instances, fusion is completely safe. This guy, because it's gonna jump grenade. Yes, sir, I'm good. Look, I'm just, like, it's okay against organic enemies, but you have better choices. Break it! You know what, I'm just gonna waste grenades on these things, because it's better for my resources at this current time. So we're gonna dating. Thank you. Blow this up, please. No. Thank you. Be careful here, because I have a ledge. And then this guy's always kind of scripted to run away. But I guess I broke his AI or something. But yeah. Even at the start of the game, when you're using like a low armor character like Solar, just resort to your melees. Ion is that bad. Use your spells, use anything else. So Ion was really fucking terrible. Like, I can literally probably melee kill this machine faster by standing like point blank on top of it. Will you hush, Jamie? I don't know if You can kind of say, like, these guys just don't even reliably stun. Okay, now Ion will kill this thing faster. Whee! Come on. And you can kind of say, like, even though I've played this game for a very long time, I'm not good with dodging and etc., so it is a lot better to invest in armor. That's how important it will be. Again. See, like, even Ion here doesn't even fucking stun them. And it's electricity that should be contracting their muscles. But no. So again, I would probably be ripping on Ion a lot. Excuse me for it, because it is well deserved. Alright. Autos. So, let's see. Got my sucks right now. With Solar, the start is a little bit harder than other characters, I personally think, because you're saddled with all this shit stuff, but you really need to upgrade the efficiency of your weapons in order to really do any damage. And oh, sorry, you need to upgrade your spells to really do much of anything, including heal. Still gonna take damage here, so it's not good. Alright, good stuff. Okay. That is static, by the way. We'll always get that. He did. You don't get anything good out of this one. I think it's just ammo or some shit. I think it's not worth taking, guaranteed damage. And you can see, like, these guys just really don't flinch. So, generally just about everything you do in this game is kind of unsafe, which sucks, but it is what it is. Now, covering something I was talking about earlier, consistencies. This is the vampires. It siphons HP from your foes and gives it to you. But it does not work on machine enemies. Do I use it a lot? No. It's an okay spell, but you can't max it out until like chapter like level 6. So the efficacy of it's kind of bad. With Solar, I strongly recommend investing in his auto stat and spell stat, spirit stat very early on, because this way you don't have to rely on Ion. And again, yes, this is an undigged Ion, but It's, again, warranted because I own this dog shit, and how do we skip that? This game has wonky pickup physics sometimes. Sir, thank you. We really won't start seeing any investment in, like, any real results until probably about chapter 2 with most of your characters in the game. This is, I believe, the first spot where you can get your character's secondary ammo type. But if you're playing on hard, you're not going to see this. And then, like, over there is there's another spell. I think that's either healing or that. I can't remember which one, but this bat is always scripted. Like, when he takes damage, he's supposed to grab his buddy and bring it back to kind of supposedly come back and, like, try to kick your ass, I guess. Oh, that destroyed their jumps a little bit. Okay, so the key is randomly dropped by somebody's either here or I'm a grenade tossing asshole over there. Oh, bird. I'm trying not to waste that right now because those drops are rare. Alright, so let's go make a grenade tossing asshole. Okay. Sure. Nope. Fire would have killed him probably about 50% faster. Don't want to waste these, but my budget sucks. But I guess more important down the road. Yoink. I would make the argument that oh fuck. Too short. Break it, please. Come on. As I was saying, I think I would make the argument that Spirit is at its best in the early game when you get access to level 3 healing and level 2 mana if your character is Solar or Julia or Sophia or even Karma. You get access to level 2 mana, You can't immediately break the game just yet, because like I think the bare minimum is level 3 for both to really break it, but mana level 2 is enough to get the job done. To uh, so to restore your HP to mana ratio. So the way it works is the higher your healing spell, the less mana it costs, the more HP you restore. The higher your mana level, the less HP it consumes, and the more mana you restore. And then you can kind of just slot them in, and then just completely break it and constantly max out your health and your mana and just abuse spells over and over again. Really bad oversight, if you want my honest opinion. But yeah, even Max with his really crappy spirit can take advantage of it. Max has the best bulk in the game, too, which is really freaking nice. So, because we're playing a Solar, and we started out with level 1 healing, and level 1 mana, and level 1 healing, we will be able to get level 3 healing. Here in just a moment. The other mana spell I'm aware of isn't until quite a good bit into level 3. I can't remember where the last one is, where I would normally get it, but yeah, right there. So for the first boss, one of the achievements is to no damage him. You die. Thank you. But yeah, one of the achievements is to no damage him. Each of the bosses has this. First boss is alright to deal with. In all honesty, he's not too terrible. Is it right? Okay, that's right. This game does reward you for going out for shit, which is really nice. Definitely tells you like a Tomb Raider era game. Good stuff. Fuck that up. I don't know why, this is a very platform heavy game. Platforming is kind of dog shit for some seconds. That's a great armor, which is really nice to have. You also get these little, like, these voodoo things that upgrade your stats. Alright, so we're gonna take a little bit of fall damage. Bonk. Also, that right there, that grate at the top has no collision, and you can just jump through it. Alright, so with all the armor investment I've done, I am like over halfway to maxing out my armor, which is really freaking nice. So be aware of elements in this game when you hit an enemy with one, and what I mean by that is like when you hit an enemy with electricity or fire, they kind of they're afflicted with it for a little bit, and it can also pass on to you and do damage to you. It's kind of dumb, but that's how it works. It is entirely possible to kind of that look like a stonewall, but it's really more just like me breaking his AI. Also, I don't ever really use explosives in this game unless they are mines, along with the shield spell, because that is OP as shit. gonna kind of just try to get this thing to go. Save resources. Because if you get too close to these things, you can get electrocuted, so I don't want I'm spacing myself out. Really. Just kicking it through. Waiting for it to fully turn around. The unfortunate truth about this game is that it is like the recent re-release of it on Steam is just bad. It's horrible. Even as someone who likes this game as much as I do, I can't stand it. It's fucking awful. It's horrible. Just gonna stand right here. You can't do anything. Thank you, sir. The Steam re-release is incredibly broken on so many levels. It's bad. It's really, really bad. And that's a shame because that's the first re-release this game got in like over 20 years, like 25 years or something like that. This is not a bad game. Obviously, you'll feel the platforming issues because PS1 era controls and all that, but I'm able to max that out. I'll invest a little bit more in spirits that way I can get like in the next chapter. I'll be able to max out my healing fairly early on. And then with Solar, it's just, a matter of breaking the game at that point because he gets more mana drops than he gets health drops. And so Solar can very easily break the game very early on. Unlike Julia, who does start with the same healing spells, but she gets health drops, not mana drops. Whoa! Birdo, what you do there, boy? Damn. That was circumventable. Thought my grenade had detonated and taken out the, what a waste of a starting life. Fucking bird, I swear, but whatever. That was so easily circumventable. Birdo is bad for that reason sometimes. It's not very common, but it can happen, which we just saw. But otherwise, Birdo is usually pretty good for shit. Not fighting, but helping you like conserve your resources more than anything. So. Two energy is nice. Take that. We take those. And with Solar, you don't. The good news is that Ion is actually okay in level 2 because, again, a lot of chain enemies. So you don't really have to invest in his weapon mastery right off the bat. It's better to invest in his armor because that will pay dividends way later on in the game. You can invest in his spirit for very. because higher armor means higher physical damage, which is actually a very viable option in this game. I would love to make a mod for this game that kind of alters the gameplay a little bit and gives each character like a class of abilities. That'd be so cool. Right. So do this and destroy that. Lightning is pretty good for the most part. Bye, sir. Especially with Solar, starts with a level 2 lightning. Because lightning is one of those rare spells that you do not get till later. And the upgrades for it are very spread out. So Solar's lightning at this point is really, really good for him. Alright, so what are the 2 things? No, I don't want to save right yet. So I unlock this. Yoink. Now. Ooh, get out of the fucking. Ah. Fun little fact, if you die in that, this is the first time you can see the characters drown in animation. Oh. Yeah, stuff. Alright. Boss time. So, our friend here. Now, he's not a very hard boss to no damage. It's like fucking piss easy, but it's like 4:30 in the morning here, so I may fuck this up. Also, you can do this and avoid having to have him throw a bowler at these little buttons. I love the O.D.T in this game, it's so good. If you're playing on hard difficulty, this is probably the first spot where you get your secondary ammunition type. So this, give him the biggest leeway away from him. I haven't no damaged all the bosses in this game, but I have no damaged the majority of them. Some are just straight up easy to cheese. Like, the final boss, if you have the ghost spell, he's down. It's just super fucking easy. That was close. I think. Now he can do. Oh. He gets. I don't want him too close. So he can retaliate with Boulder. He can do a stomp. He does have an insane amount of iframes, so just kind of keep that in mind. Also, he's like up over here next to me. That thing. He's not a hard boss, he's like I said, he's really piss easy to deal with, no damage. Just like if he's camping like a little bit close right here, that's a bad thing, because he can hit you. But normally otherwise he can't. get cheated up here. In this little corner. Alright, so this is one of the ultimate spells in the game. Yeah. Shield is crazy busted in this game. So, for a few reasons. While it's active, if you're close to an enemy, it will set them on fire and do damage over time. It grants you complete immunity to fire attacks. And you can just kind of sit there. And another really OP reason is if you set the enemy on fire, like I mentioned before, the fire will carry over to you. The problem is like, because they're on fire and their attack is not registered as fire, you're immune to their attack. So, you can also just dump mines in front of you like crazy and just get insane DPS. That's better. So yeah, this is like a really, really good spell. And that's level 1. I have up to 9 lives now, but unfortunately Birdo is being a trollish dick, so we won't be able to get it. Or keep it. Okay, so time to demonstrate what I was talking about. Get damage over time, and I'm completely immune to the fire. So while his corpse is burning, I am completely safe. And it costs a pittance of mana. This spell is incredibly overpowered. It is very, very overpowered. So like, just increases my melee DPS like crazy. Also, enemies will run from you with it around you. The mermen in particular, like so 6 or chapter 6, are very, very afraid of. So you probably won't see me invest in Weapon Master for a little bit longer. Because now melees are just super busted. So this room can go tits up, or it can just be okay. We want to hide underneath the awning. Roast. Thank you. So. Not far to do anything. No. Good stuff. Get doing. Should be kind of quick here because they can blow this up, and I believe it's guaranteed instant death. Like almost every single time I've done this, the character dies from the explosion. So it might not be guaranteed instant death. I don't know. Which is going to be quick versus this things. And this is where I start getting fire, which is going to pay dividends. Solar, along with ion. My movement in this game is not so high, but it's fine. Med card over here. Ooh. There's an achievement for not upgrading your stats at all during a run. I might do that with Julia just for the extra challenge. I honestly keep forgetting that quick turn is a thing. I almost never ever use it. Out of the way because we have a friend here. But his bolts at us. Sometimes it might not stop here, sometimes it might. I just got lucky there. If it doesn't, then you're probably gonna get ran into and eat a little bit of damage. These robots, there's only kind of enemies like this in the game. Just approach them from their head, they can't hit you, blind spot and all that, and then you proceed to kick the shit out of them. Here. That is the teleport spell, which is very useful. Love the soundtrack in this game. Sneeze! Oh, thank you. Alright. Ready. Friends. Try to kind of cheese it. It's not. I don't ever really use grenades for this purpose. They suck otherwise, and they're difficult to aim and throw. Mines are just straight up superior, especially with a shield spell. This guy right here, that's the we need to progress. So I'm holding on to my experience right now because the last healing spell that we do that we need to come up. Just a second. I want to see if I have enough mana to invest in it or not right now. I also this level is very mixed in my personal opinion. And it can have some fun aspects like the start, but like a good majority of this level is a pain in the ass. Yeah. Not a fan of the design for the most part. Alright, so come on, thank you. You bird it. Oh, get up. Fucking Alright, so a little secret area directly beneath my feet. What? Just there we go. Now I have a max level healing spell. So yank. Unfortunately, I do not know of a way to skip the elevator right back up, so you will have to deal with it. Which sucks, but it's worth it though. We're at the start of chapter 2, and we've already got a max healing spell. We're already about to break the game. Like I think if you have mana level 3 and healing level 4, then you've already broken the game, pretty much. Controls, work with me. Pain in the ass. Alright, so I hate this level for the first part is these doohickeys. I'm just gonna call them crushers, because that's what they are. Crush any and all. Yes. So the timing on these things is really freaking funky and weird. See what I mean? Take the damage, take the damage. Arr. Dude. Anyway, this guy drops a piece of the side key. Anyways. What is the side key for? The side key gives us access to an optional area at the end of the game that allows us to visit the Cygenosis Paris office. I hope I pronounced that right. So this is what teleport is good for. We don't have to go through all that anymore. Well, for this level, for this segment, hopefully. Well, we get to go this way. Fuck you. Ugh. Fire was not friendly there. Anyways. I was hoping to get him in there, but whatever. No, you get up over here, sir. Weird, I'm like that. magnetic card that we have. Once you get through the next area, which has some crappy platforming admittedly, level turned out to be okay, for the most part. And as you can see, like, I'm already almost maxed at my armor. Like, we're breaking the game quite crazily here. I love with the graphics in this game that Solar has a unibrow. I would love to see this game get like remastered or something. What Pico Interactive really should do is just release this game. And like for masters and shit these scenes. Okay, so these things are not aggravate us immediately. What I'm trying to do. Come on. There we go. We destroyed the ammo canister so these turrets can't shoot at us. Also, these turrets are part of the reason why the Steam release is so bad, is because like the game will just randomly crash when they even look at it. I'm not joking when I say that. The port is so fundamentally badly optimized that like just a turret will break your game and cause it to crash. Right. Got a new spell, which is also very handy. I'll use it. It is the blast spell. And since we're not doing well, keep that. Just the blast spell increases the power of all the ammo by about amortized by about 50%. If I recall correctly, the duration increases on each level, which is really nice. I was waiting for that. Ha ha ha. Oh, fucking easy. Spell spread. Here. Bonk. But this is a great spell to hit enemies around the corner. Hey. Alright. Peekaboo. Well, he does. No, it's not. Now. Alright, once I reach the next save point, I'll probably get fixing tired. You'd see how much of a viable alternative melees are now. Like if I want to save my ammo, you can just kick shit to death, pretty much. Oh. Now I hate this segment because this is a portion of the game's issues personified. Oh, okay, now that was 100% me. I pressed the wrong button. That was 100% my fault. Alright, I tell you what, since we just saved not too long ago, I'm actually gonna call it there. I don't feel like wasting a life, plus, I'm just really tired. It's almost 5 a.m. So we shall resume, not too far off, in the next stream.